We are looking at a future where racing technology might just solve the big problems facing Aussie motorists. Charging speeds, towing distances, and the ultimate one, the very survival of the combustion engine. I snaffled a ticket to the F1 exhibition in Melbourne recently, and honestly, they absolutely nailed how F1 has changed the automotive industry as we know it. You can really see how race day tech ends up in the cars we drive today. And this trickle-down effect has a decades-long history. The paddle shifters on your steering wheel to change gears, that was pioneered by Ferrari back in 1989. Carbon fiber structures used in some road cars were a McLaren innovation from 1981. Even iconic sports cars like the Honda NSX were made better thanks to F1. Indeed, Honda's magnum opus was fettled by Ayrton Senna, who demanded a 50% stiffer chassis after testing it, and he also asked for recalibrated suspension. These things made it a much better vehicle. Michael Schumacher did the same for the Ferrari 430 Scuderia, insisting on suspension changes for better road compliance. Sebastian Vettel contributed to the development of a boring sedan, the Infiniti Q50, and several other SUVs. In F1 driver circles, the German arguably had the most influential role thus far within a car company. So, what's going to happen in 2026? Well, a very, very important power shift. The 2025 era F1 cars get about 20% of their power from electric hybrid systems, and now that shoots up to roughly 50%. It's a big jump. The rules almost triple electric power output. It's gone from around 120 kilowatts to about 350 kilowatts of electric boost now. That's like strapping almost 500 horsepower worth of e-motor into the car. The little 1.6 litre V6 engines in F1 cars in 2026, they actually produce less power now. They're looking at around 400 kilowatts, give or take, down from around 550 kilowatts, while the battery power skyrockets. Essentially, these new F1 cars will become equal partnerships between petrol power and their electrical systems. To make this happen, they had to ditch some baggage. So the MGU-H unit is gone. Why? Well, it was insanely expensive and incredibly complex for what it gave back. And while it did filter through to some Mercedes AMG road cars, the tech never really blossomed more broadly throughout the automotive industry. Dropping the complex MGU-H units shifted research and development towards road-relevant batteries and kinetic recovery. Its replacement, the 2026 MGU K system, can harvest about double the amount of energy and is likely to yield some pretty cool advancements for road-going vehicles, most likely battery cooling technology. So ultimately, this racing tech could lead to faster charging of your EV and better battery cooling. Cooler vehicles when they sit in your driveway. Other changes for the 2026 F1 regs can kind of be distilled down into two things, a diet and a volume control. That's right, these cars should be louder and raspier and crisper, according to reports, and they should also be more agile as well. So the theory is more overtaking. And those leaks and whispers coming from early F1 testing in Spain? Strange holes in the diffusers that could lead to improved aerodynamics in road cars. And how's this for a head spinner? The F1 cars in 2026 will not burn fossil fuels at all. They'll run on fully synthetic fuels made in a lab. At least that's what the PR spin says. And get this, one of those labs already exists in Tasmania. You might have read about it. Porsche is getting very excited by it. We're talking advanced biofuels and e-fuels brewed from things like non-food biomass, municipal waste, and even carbon sucked out of the atmosphere. And it's drop-in fuel, meaning it will work with existing engines, but with a massively smaller carbon footprint. Essentially, F1 is trying to prove that they can run carbon-neutral racing without going fully electric, because, hybrids are the future. If F1 can make synthetic fuels sexy and, more importantly, viable, then our beloved combustion engines may not go extinct. Major regulators are paying attention. The European Union's 2035 ban on new petrol cars actually has an exemption for e-fuel powered cars, largely thanks to lobbying by Germany and Porsche. Companies like Porsche are betting big on this technology. They're investing in e-fuels in Chile and Tasmania to pump out synthetic fuel that could make your old Porsche 911 run guilt-free, or simply be able to run at all if future emissions regulations get really, really strict. Of course, there's always two sides to the story. Synthetic fuels are incredibly expensive at the moment, and the energy required to refine them is also pretty intense. Skeptics say it's a niche solution, but F1 diving in head first adds significant momentum to the e-fuels movement. And as production scales up, costs will inevitably, hopefully, come down. That's the dream, and F1 certainly wants to help kickstart it. While synthetic fuels are gonna be very expensive for the foreseeable future, I reckon the first beneficiaries of these new F1 regulations will be high-performance hybrid vehicles. Manufacturers like Ferrari, Honda, Audi, even Cadillac and Ford will take the 50-50 hybrid tech from F1 and pour them into their road cars. I'm talking about hyper hybrids that have, say, 150 or 250 kilometers of electric-only range, but still have that powerful, sonorous, turbocharged six-cylinder engine that you can really connect with and feel part of the car. Like the car still has a soul. Active Aero will make the jump as well. I mean, there's stacks of SUVs and cars out there already with that closable flap on the front grille that reduces drag when you're cruising at highway speeds. And I think we might see a development of these active aerodynamic features on more cars going forward as well. I think the 2030s are going to be really interesting. And many of these innovations will be from lessons learned on the F1 racetrack. So will 2026 be the start of a new age for F1 and road cars, or a cautionary tale? I'm an optimist at heart, so I'm going with the former, because I reckon F1 is doubling down on what made it great in the first place: innovation that actually matters, and louder engines. We're going to see race cars with as much electric power as petrol, running on carbon neutral fuel and sporting shape-shifting aerodynamics, and built by some of the biggest car names in the world. If it works, our reward as consumers will be better technology in our cars. They'll be more efficient, they'll be faster, and they'll be lighter. And maybe they'll be a little bit more clever as well. And if it fails, well, we'll still have one heck of an engineering show to watch. Either way, 2026 is going to be a must-watch year for F1 fans and gearheads alike. I reckon even my old mate Mark Webber is going to start frothing. Although I got to say, that V10 engine in his car, so good. They just don't sound like that anymore. But Formula One isn't just a race series. It's the world's craziest car development program in disguise. And as a car enthusiast, I am here for it. Buckle up, because the future, both on the track and on the road, is racing right towards us. And go you good thing, Oscar!